Hi everyone, welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. My name is Minna Crichton. I'm the original and the narrator of all my videos clip on YouTube and Facebook page. Today is the 30th of January 2025, and today's topic, I will be first of all just start with a introduction of using my posters that I've used. They're actually from my Facebook page, just a hobby, but they actually mean quite a lot. It's me actually interpreting my path, my journey, and in relation to what it actually means visually and referring to the laws. Okay, but this is all about me, so your circumstance is different to mine. It doesn't mean it applies to you, but according to my set of circumstances, I'm just interpreting what applies to me according to the laws. Okay. So my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, it's a mixture of my professional life and my personal life, making it my personal testimony. Okay, I want to start off with this. This here, the post, I've kind of described exactly from my point of view and visually what it is to be cloned and substitute by a person that is they're copycat, really. They're copying everything you're doing. Okay, so this is what the illegal scientific experiment that I went through while I was working for my employer. And over time, it gradually got worse and worse. But this here will basically describe what I'm going through. I'm the original minding my own business, and then on the surface, these people are doing what they're doing, which is illegal. So I'm actually the original in the project. And a lot of videos I've actually described what the project means to me as the actual person that they've used for their project. Okay, everything about it is illegal there. There's nothing in the legislation that condones it. All right, because everyone's an individual. We're born as an individual. We die as an individual. And by law, no one is allowed to do any of this unless you are, you've given them the power of attorney, or for other reasons you've allowed somebody to do these things, but it has to be by consent. However, it is considered indictable offences. Okay, in the old court system, the other generation of the traditional laws and that, this kind of thing was never like. That's why one single privacy breach is really, really serious, for the very reason of the things that I've gone through historically. So it does involve eventually, it will reveal on the individual's personal profile property that they've been used for hostage taking, and it is a category 4 offences in this new court system that we're going through. And it is hostage taking, and they're taking things without my consent. The penalty is 14 years imprisonment. So it doesn't matter if it's indirect the way they're doing it or directly, it still falls under the same category in this law. And in my case, there's a lot of that going on, but they have used the relationship scam. Otherwise, how else could they have secretly steal? Get the point? So that's the reason why privacy laws is really important. So this new age system, it involves a lot of, hold on just one moment. So now we have all this new laws, like I just showed you on that last picture. If I can just get it up again. Hang on. Excuse me for a sec. So behind the HubD system, that's what I'm subject to, are people who are controlling and manipulating or, they're the ones that are receiving our legal documents or whatever, the hub desk. And I don't know if anybody else is experiencing what I'm going through, but my experiences always seem to be talking only to the people at the hub desk, and no one senior, no one, nobody else. I haven't been able to go any further than that. Okay, so it's a lockout situation, and I'm basically incarcerated, and it eventually becomes a Ponzi scheme, meaning there are a lot of people involved. Okay, so unfortunately up here I put here the state, which is our government, the crown. But with everything that I've gone through, the documents that I've applied is meant to go to them, but I have not. Most of my things I've submitted online doesn't go any further than the hub desk, which is a very big concern. I knew something was radically wrong with what I was going through right from the beginning, and but this is my personal experience, so I'll just keep going. So according to the laws, these people can be anybody from foreign public officials, anyone in government, but with the way the system is, it can even be a gang member. Okay, because they're just sending out emails with only using the company's letterhead or the company's entity, and they don't even sometimes send out even their name. Sometimes they only just send out their first name, nothing else, and they're the same like that at the counter. They don't want to give out their name. So when something goes wrong, it does fall under this category here, because there's laws for everyone that they have to apply. So it can be anybody that is a corruption of a foreign public officer. It could be someone from overseas. And on my personal experience, people overseas have been involved with human trafficking me, going backwards to 2010. So now basically I can now globally prove with my own personal interpretation of my own personal profile and intellectual property and all the rest of it. They have used me like a human hard drive, like an app, or to use like a product, like a robot they call it. It is illegal. There's nothing in law that condones this kind of system either. And it is a Crimes Act 1961. Okay, so if you're going through anything I'm going through, there's nothing that supports what I've gone through at all. Okay, so I'd say the core issue for me, and the core criminal tactic that the opposing allies have used, is a love triangle, and involving several. In my case, I'm a female, I'm a woman, involving several females. And now I can prove that historically. And if you've watched all the other clips, I'm just refreshing your memory that I am or have been subject to relationship scams historically. Okay, so this here's the best way to kind of explain from my point of view how I have been treated in this relationship scam, and I guess you can understand why sometimes I get angry, and you can hear it in my voice. I'm frustrated, or I'm mad, and because I'm the aggrieved victim. By law, I am the aggrieved victim. Okay, but I haven't acted like a victim on the surface, and it's just been something that I've gone through. But I'm still a human being. I'm not a robot. I'm still a human being, and what I've gone through has been horrific for any human being. But it is an illegal scientific experiment, and I am being either animated or inanimated is another word. This is only found in the Crimes Act. It's not found in any other legislation, meaning it is a criminal. It's a criminal, to do what they're doing. Okay, there's nowhere in the legislation where it says that people can be substitute and then the substitute gets to steal and live their life and live off the energy, and then steal, their money and all the rest. Nothing in law supports this kind of system I'm going through. Nothing, okay? However, if you're trapped in it, it's very dangerous. So there, in my case, they've actually used me, like I said, an app or a product. So this here basically kind of describes what I mean. They have treated me really bad, like a self destruction or dehumanizing actual human being, and they do treat you really bad. Like it's all in the alliance. You feel the hate, you feel the hostility. Someone definitely wants you dead, but they can't kill you because they know everyone's watching. Like, because, I've been exploited. So which tells me it's somebody internal, and it's internal corruption who wants to kill me because they let me know. But they also they're so obsessed about trying to kill me, they have to act out their criminal intent. So I go out and they come out with their toilet paper. I go out and they come out and they have their rubbish bags. That even indirectly they're doing really bad smells in my space. That tells me, they're in my space, blah, blah, blah. But they are, that is serious, okay? That is really serious, and this is why I ring the cops, but everyone's in on it, okay? Everyone's in on it. It's a scientific experiment. It's gone on for a long time. So what happens to me definitely falls under the acts of torture. And I've put here monopoly because it is a game. Okay? This is where the relationship comes in, because there's money in what they're doing behind the scene. And also it's whoever gets the guy or whoever gets the girl gets the money and everything else. So it's like a lottery system going on. Just quickly going back to this, I've written here, it only takes one leg to sink the Titanic. Legally a privacy breach eventually will sink, will harm everybody in your private space, meaning all the originals. People go missing, then there's such thing as sudden death, and then it becomes a home invasion situation. And so that's why a privacy breach, one single privacy breach, this is the end result of it if you've got no defense. Okay, so today I'll be dealing with my court case documents again. And so I'm talking about accessory after the fact now. So basically I'm reliving the facts in my profile, and I'm actually interpreting it and actually reliving them and bringing them to surface like alive from my own words. I've been representing myself for a long time, and there's a lot of pain and suffering in actually representing yourself, and also in just doing all the legal documents, putting all the legal documents together. Because it's been really hard on me, because I've had to relive. They've made me relive the facts that are actually real and true. That alone, that's pretty cruel. And they know I'm innocent. They know I won, and they know that the public's trying to kill you, and then they just carry on with their life, their so perfect life on the surface, and don't expect anything to come back. But anyway, I'm just sharing my experience, and I'm just going with it. So I'm reliving the facts, and I'm dealing with what is in my personal profile, and you'll learn quite a bit. So the global game has been global. So that falls definitely under criminal intent. So what investigator will judge those who've participated. They will be judged for their motive and their criminal intent. Okay, so to actually do anything like coding or what they've gone through, if you've watched the other videos, it does fall under the bracket of inciting to mutiny. Okay, so it's a Crimes Act 1961, has the penalty of up to 10 years imprisonment. And all this is going on by secret societies, and they all want it like it's a warlike game. Everyone wants to rule the world, so they all want to win. The unfortunate thing is, to do indirect anything is equivalent to direct offences in the criminal law, and it will always be like that no matter what the generation is, okay? So I think I have proven a global fact that my case has definitely been an illegal relationship scam involving a lot of people. But it does fall under inciting to mutiny, and the government is also being proven involved in all this, okay, because we're all learning. It's like the blind lead the blind. But, there are consequences for everything we do, whether it's our action, whether it's what we say orally, or what we do in writing, okay, according to the laws. But the penalty is 10 years imprisonment. It doesn't matter how you're coding people. If you get caught out and linked to a crime scene, you can be charged for conspiracy. So at the end of the day, after all the years of what I've gone through personally alone, it does fall under war crimes, genocide, and crimes against humanity, okay? So what the investigators will find in my profile, that people have used me for money laundering, embezzlement, and other things. And then unfortunately, I know that it's like a serial, well, you all know, like the Jack the Ripper serial killer guy. Well, it's kind of like that, but this is like it's a cyber crime, but it's a global one. I think it was just my turn and my family's turn, to be honest, because they're quite professional at what they're doing. But if they kill somebody for their money, it is actually illegal, and spiritually it's called blood money, because they're killing innocent civilians for their money or using them for money, okay? So part of the project is there is a very serious violation of human rights and Bill of Rights, privacy, and EEO, which is equal employment opportunity. So that all this takes place to an individual working for their employer. Okay, so today I'm focusing on just some documents, and you'll understand why at the end of the clip when I finish. But today I'm going to just once more I just felt in my heart I needed to focus on something today, okay? So what I'm trying to prove is the corruption internal, okay? So, everyone stands alone for whatever they do, but I have to tell the truth as it is, okay? So today I'm looking at Judge Jelas's reserved decision, okay? And so I'm just showing you that this is what we're looking at today. And what I wanted to focus on this paragraph is number, on this judgment. I will be going through some other judgments to prove a point. Now, first of all, before I go to the next one, so there was a few things in question, okay? So there was the names of the parties that was in question, and then there was the names of what is the actual name of the court case, whether it's the corporate body or the individuals, okay? So who actually won on this date was, I won over Dr. John Joseph. Let me just go here. Okay, I won against these three here. So this is Ministry of Health, okay? And these three remained. It's still Ministry of Health because 5th and 6th is still from the Ministry of Health. All three of these individuals are from Ministry of Health, leaving this individual, he's from City Med. Okay, so you got to keep that in your head. So the names of the parties is, I keep saying it's City Med and Ministry of Health, and I've already proven that. So it should never have gotten that far. So there's clear, just one moment. Also, keep in mind that it's also a Commonwealth game, okay? Now, I wanted to make it clear that on this point of Judge's judgment, she'd written here, Mr. Watt responsibly submitted that the defendants are not, I don't even know who Mr. Watt was, because there was no Mr. Watt in any time that I was in court. So that kind of got me thinking, that's, yeah, I don't know why that is there, but I thought I'll highlight that. And then I'll let you have your own conclusion after you see the evidence. Okay, so going back up here, because now we're looking at, if you're into criminology, this is the kind of thing you've got to look at. But because it's a new age system, it's very hard to detect these kind of things. It's like, yeah, you just can't, it doesn't matter how experienced you are, it takes time to actually be experienced. So keep in mind that the game is a Commonwealth game. So whatever the defendants are, that is the culture, that is the religion, that is the race that is up against you. I didn't know this in the beginning, but that is the truth. That is exactly what happened. So Dr. John Joseph, he was Indian. Dr. Ickham was Asian. Joanna Shislabim, I believe she was Croatian, okay? And then these three are Europeans. And they all work in public office, the doctors. Well, I thought they were. All of them were, but yeah. Okay, so legally by law, the name of the parties should be just one moment. Here it is. This is the first one that I actually submitted, okay, to court on the 4th of July 2026. Well, I actually submitted them as individual care of Ministry of Health, which is the same thing. Okay, it doesn't matter legally, that doesn't matter, it's the same thing. I've put the name of the individual care of Ministry Health. So that you can do that, because I mean I used to do files legally, and people would do that because you can, because you know that's the same description. It's the individual care of the company. All right. So the court registrar wanted me to actually amend that to the company, which I did, because I after I did my research, he was correct, because I wasn't sure which one, but I just thought I'll do both of them, but I knew it was meant to be Ministry of Health. But after I did my research, I confirmed it was. So the legal name of the file should be all the way from here all the way to judiciary review, because I've been adamant, because you know the court deputy registrar is saying you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to change that, and so they've declined my application because I refused to change it. But here is the date, 28th of July. I went to the court, and this is just a receipt. You see over here the letterhead, Ministry of Justice, my name. And I paid $75 because they told me I had to pay $75 for an amended statement of claim. Now, this was new to me too, because you didn't have to before, but they charged me, so I just did it. Okay, this is a person who, her name is Naomi Johnson Waitakere. So this is a receipt, and this receipt is an exhibit. Now, as time went on, I have found in my documents people they're they've used me like some kind of a public object. So different people are coming into my home when I leave and just going through my stuff. I've always known it. I've complained about it. So they've usually used me like an open book without my consent. So I don't know who started all this, but I haven't consented to it. Okay, so if you look at this date, 21st of 2013, they've put the name of Dr. John Joseph here on this letterhead, and here's the case officer. I don't know why, because I even complained about the names of the party because like I already won that, and then I find his name on my cases, like he's the one I'm going against. Okay, so these are the kind of things I'm finding. And then here, this is the Court of Appeal also. Now, the Court of Appeal put the defendant's name again instead of City Med, and they declined my documents because they wanted me to change the name to the individuals rather than City Med and Ministry of Health, okay? These are court registrars who haven't case managed my file. Like they haven't followed my file historically. The file has just gotten in front of them, and then they've just told me to change the name of the parties, and I declined to do that because I knew that they weren't allowed. One, they are not allowed to do that. Any name changing is meant to take place in court before a judge in front of all the parties, and only a judge can actually amend stuff like that. Okay, so these are the kind of things. This is Court of Appeal here. I'm just going because I feel these are all things that really bad legal administration by the courts. Okay, so at this time it was this person here. You can see case managed me at the Court of Appeal process. So that's the only reason why they declined it, was because of the name of a party. And it was quite clear they weren't going to give up, but I wasn't going to give up either. Then it went to the Supreme Court, and the name of the party is still there. The Supreme Court also declined it because of the registrar's decision. Okay, so I will go because I'm going to go through some of the judges. Okay, so the Supreme Court declined it because of the registrar's decision. So it was quite clear the registrars, all want me to change. They I don't know what they want to call it, but they wanted me to change the name of the parties of the singular names to the defendants. Okay. So that's the only reason why the judges I didn't go through, because of the registrar's decision. Okay, so here's that amended one that I actually paid for. So we're going through here. This one here is a judge. So see, this one's Judge J. Clifford. It just seems like that. Yeah, so everything since the Court of Appeal up to Supreme Court, it's all been about the deputy registrar's decision, not about the actual court case and the evidence, because there is no evidence on the judge's judgments to show that the judges have actually cited any of my documents, which is serious. All right, and I'll carry on. So this one here, Judge Brown also has, because of the review of the registrar's decision rejecting for filing, so that's the same thing. It's about the names of the party. Okay, so it's not the judge's decision. Like the judges have supported. The judges have supported the deputy registrar's decision. Okay, so what we got here is the Court of Appeal letter again. Oh, we've already shown the same thing because he gave me 2 letters. That's why that's there. And now we shall go to the laws. So now my case falls under, and you can clearly see, a case going on for almost 8 years. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. But anyway, now my case for criminal intent now can be proven according to the laws that there is definitely are trading and influence going on behind the scene, right? And that's why it's so important to separate your occupation, to abide to the laws rather than listening to other people. Okay? Because what I found is some senior people do use the people that are less experienced to do the wrong thing, like they tell them to do it when they know they're supposed to be doing it. And unfortunately, when something goes wrong, they like to blame those that are new and try and put it under, it's because he's new or she's new. But it should have been a decision of someone senior. So every time I've gone to the courts, I've said I need my file to go to someone senior. At that point of time when I went to the Supreme Court, I asked for it. I think I nearly begged them. I know I've begged them heaps of times to do stuff, but they haven't, because I knew the seriousness of my case. And they wouldn't. And I recall asking the deputy registrar at the court if my file could go to a judge for the judge to make a decision on my file. But they refused. Okay. So now looking at it, it looks like the deputy registrars are at fault. Okay. Let's carry on, which I think is important. And so obviously sometimes I feel the deputy registrars, I don't know who's telling them to do, because people sacrifice themselves to try and help each other in their jobs. But that is not why we have jobs for. That's not why we have a government, and that is not why we have laws, okay? So now these deputy registrar falls under perjury, whatever. So keep in mind that I'm subject to some kind of Game of Thrones, New Age ecosystem involving relationship scams linked to my court case. I have to say in the beginning, I didn't know what was going on, because I just didn't understand. I was like, what's going on? I just can't actually describe or express in words what I felt when I was going in the moment in the early years of what I was going through. And now the evidence is very clear. But I had been used for illegal commonwealth. So those defendants who've broken the law have turned my life in a game of illegal commonwealth. So everyone is like trying to protect each other's occupation from losing their jobs or going to prison. And then, all their friends, their families, they all support each other at sabotaging. And that's exactly what's happened here. Okay? So whatever nationality the women are, their culture is on their side. And I'm not racist. I'm just explaining from my own words how the illegal commonwealth takes place. Just give me a sec. I'm just looking at something at the moment. Okay, so what I'm going to go over quickly in the most recent incident, okay, because I have felt they've used people, and people are trying to tell me Henry's left me, Henry's doing this, Henry's seeing somebody else. Henry is, like the public inciting has just been unreal. Painful journey for me personally, because they're hurting me mainly. And then I'm frustrating Henry because, I think he's cheating and all the rest of it. But then the conspiracy with these other women on the surface linked to my government, they're all like inciting indirectly, psychologically, staging everything on their clips to let their their people know, or who Henry is gone with, and Henry's doing this. And then they've got all this, the people that making songs representing them, but it's all an illusion on the surface. And as far as I'm concerned, from someone who's straight, okay, I'm a straight person, they are creating deception to deceive the public, to let the public know who's winning, or like Henry's doing this, or Henry's having a secret lover, blah blah blah. And here I am talking to Henry every single day. But I'm just using this as an example. So keep the set of circumstance in your mindset. But they are letting the public know what's happening to Henry, or that they think he's gone with this lady or gone with the other lady, gone with anyways, I think you'll get the drift. So I'm still denouncing that because that hasn't changed between me and Henry. But however, I didn't understand how his celebrity life works, and now I understand it even more, and I think you all understand it too now. But the celebrity life is about fake everything. The celebrity life is about the helping each other, like breaking. It's really unruly is the word. So I'm just going to quickly, because I don't want to keep on the time. Recently, because there's twinning and switching, blah, 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 I had to make a letter of complaint to the Ministry of Justice. Okay, so there's loads of complaints to the Ministry of Justice about, I've used all the complaints system, okay, every single one of them, and they have never responded in a way that has resolved the problem or stop it from happening. Just like the court cases, they haven't, compensated or make the lawyers, do a judgment of liability. They haven't done any of that. So this is the reason why I get frustrated, and what I've gone through is it's just inhumane. Okay, so on the 12th of December, I had to make a letter of complaint to the Ministry of Justice because of the way I was being treated by the court staff leading up to Christmas. And I'm telling you, there's no law to support what they did to me. Okay, and I mean, if they're not doing it at the counter, they're doing it on the call center when I ring them. So it tells me, the same alliance conspiring to pin me down, sabotage, to allow time for the perpetrators or the people who've committed the crime, or to steal, to get away, and just do like another tactic to bury me. So I can't go forward, pinned down. So it's a pinned down set of circumstances. So I had to ring. I went to the courts here, and I basically described what happened on the 3rd of December 2023. The person that normally served me was handling my case was away, which was David Hartland, and he's been good. I haven't had any problems with him. He's done everything to the letter to what he knew what was meant to happen. So I went there to him because he was the one case managing, but my case is no one's case managed, just like anything in my WINS profile. No one's case managed. They've literally, they've treated me like a stray, like a human being with no rights. Okay? So heaps of people have secretly behind the scene done what they've done to me. So this one was in regards to the criminal laws. The criminal case, Ministry of Health and City Med. On this day, David was away, and I had written in description who served me and everything. Okay. And then, so what happened? Let me see. I felt like I was being attacked by the manager there. Her name was Philippa, but what happened? Before her, another guy came on, and his name was Sean, and I just went there and I went to ask for David, and he just attacked me and said, "Oh, we're not taking your files here, not taking your documents here," and I'm like, standing there dumbfounded. I'm like, where's that coming from? Why are you talking like that? And then I started to explain, and he wouldn't let me talk. And he basically just humiliated me in the public area. Okay? And the courts have done this to me a few times. So I'm going to expose them for what they've done to me, because it's not acceptable. And they're doing it because they know I'm by myself, which makes them look like a coward. But what they did to me that day was horrific. They humiliated me in public. And then he goes, and I tried to explain to him, because I said, I'm here to see David because this is after going to the High Court, and High Court telling me what to do, that I was doing the right thing, that I'm supposed to go back to the district court and sign my documents and da. So this is what they're doing. They're giving me instructions. I go there and then they're giving me a different thing. But this has been going back and forth historically, right? And I'm sure everybody knows I'm not a dog. I don't have a tail behind my backside. But this is what they've done to me historically. So on this particular day, this guy, Sean, wouldn't serve me, and you know, he was rude. He was rude the way he spoke to me. I just stood there shocked, and I was like trying to stay calm. And I said, no, I'm not. I said, I want to speak to your manager. And he, first of all, he said he wasn't going to get my manager. And I said, okay, I'm going to ring the police. And I started to ring 111 because this is what's been going on. I'm ringing the police to complain that the courts were perverting the course of justice. And so this is my experience leading up to Christmas. Thank you very much, everyone who participated in doing illegal discrimination on a human being. But so he goes and gets, because he saw that I was going to ring the cops, he goes and gets Philippa, the manager, and she was the same attitude as him. And she basically said, I heard about the emails you sent to the case officer, and I didn't know what she meant by that because there was no case officer. She didn't say the word case officer, but she just said, I heard about the emails you've been sending everyone. I was like, but no one's been case managing my case, because no one has at the district court at Waitakere criminal jurisdiction. And so, but then she goes, well, that was a reason why, no, we're not taking your documents. She goes, you can just leave now. And by that time, the security came, and then I just thought, I'm going to leave. Okay, so I left, and I was really upset. I was shaken by the incident, and I ended up getting sick by what they did. But that is the Natalie and Amy Denton alliances, or any of those women behind the scene going on. But that's what I'm trying to say. The abuse is because there's a bigger reason behind the scenes, and the managers are actually breaking the law. Okay? They are not allowed to do that to anyone. So I was advised. It took a while for me, because I'm going there because I've been instructed by the High Court that I was doing the correct thing. I need to do this, and then I go there, and then they do that to me. It's like they know I'm coming, because no one's got supernatural powers, all right? They're just gossiping, texting each other. So everything's intentional, but they're sabotaging my case because it's a criminal case. And also, I'm the one who's actually broken a new code. I better get going now. I'm going to finish with this now. So this is my latest experience leading up to Christmas. And then the manager sends out an email. The managers are breaking the law. Okay, I'm telling you they are. There's nothing in the law that because it has to go for a judge. They can't decline somebody's file because they're not lawyers either. It's a case. It has to go before a judge. Okay, the judge has to make that decision. So I got a letter of response, and then the other thing I have found with this incident, because I actually responded back to them and to tell her that she's misunderstood my complaint, that I was actually complaining about the way the courts was treating me. And this is the person here who responded. I felt this needed to be told because I went through all this with management. So clearly something's radically wrong. Okay, so she wrote me this letter, and she said that my documents aren't, they can't accept it, but it's already been filed. It's just got to go through the the criminal court processes. I'm doing everything correctly according to the law. They keep referring me, they're taking the advantage of, because I'm self-representing myself. This is their excuse for rejecting my file, even though I'm correct in everything I'm doing. And by law, I'm allowed to do this. Okay, but they aren't actually allowed to give instructions like that or even reject somebody's file for those reasons, especially with the seriousness of everything. And the actual charging documents are already legally signed. And according to the laws, that once a charging document is legally signed, they are charged. So the Ministry of Health is already charged, but it's still got to go through the court process where they have to give a plea. Okay, so they've also, I believe they've done this also to sabotage the judge from making a decision in my favour with the New Zealand police file that's well overdue. So I'll leave it at that for now, because this clip is too long now, and I'll see you in my next clip.